What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a real good video for y'all, for entertainment purposes only. So stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And leave a comment. And make sure you check those notifications and make sure that bell on so you can be the first one to know when I'm dropping. But let's just go ahead and run it.
Believe me if I told y'all that the technology that we're using is the technology of the old world. We all heard about nothing new under the sun, right? It's even in scripture, Ecclesiastes 1:9. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. This is the Aztec hieroglyph of somebody on a computer. There's nothing new under the sun. That's a helicopter. That's a tank. That look like some kind of UFO. Another Aztec glyph. Don't these look like missiles and they loading them up to some kind of UFO or flying craft? Oh, bicycles and motorbikes. That's not new either. Ancient light bulbs. This is an ancient phone with Sumerian text on the numbers. And I literally can go hours and hours on showing y'all there's nothing new under the sun. All this technology that we're using is technology of the old world. Everybody talking about this reset, but not knowing this ain't the first one. This technology gets recycled because it goes in a cycle. I'm just saying, if you don't know, now you know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about there being nothing new under the sun and all this technology being old in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom.
But they opened up a grave in South America. The grave was probably made about 1,000 years ago, and found this little gold artifact in there. You can see it next to the dime for scale. Looks like an airplane about this big. The Smithsonian has it, and they have it labeled as a stylized insect. Because they got this preconceived idea, ancient man was dumb, modern man is smart. They could not possibly have known about airplanes 1,000 years ago. And yet, here they've got one. That's not a stylized insect. I'm sorry, they knew about flight. An Egyptian tomb was opened that's 2,100 years old, and it also had an airplane in it, a little model glider. How did they know about airplanes over 2,000 years ago? Apparently they knew about electricity a long time ago because this battery was found in Iraq from about 2,000 years ago. The Egyptians must have known about electricity. This hieroglyphic shows what appears to be wires and a generator or something hooked up to these two snakes. Either the snakes are producing the electricity or they're putting electricity into the snakes. I don't know, but they must have known about electricity a long time ago. They found a sunken ship in the Aegean Sea, which is near Greece in the Mediterranean. And there was encrusted on there what appeared to be an analog computing device. This is 2,100 years ago. This hammer was found in rock supposed to be 400 million years old by a lady in Texas. Battelle Laboratory said it's 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, 0.74% sulfur. No carbon. And yet it is stainless steel. It won't rot. It won't rust. Before the flood came, the Bible says the people lived to be over 900 years old. You could learn a lot in 900 years. Plus, when you consider a couple other factors, they lived in a perfect environment. They would have had much higher IQs, much less to do as far as just daily things you have to do just to live. Most of those things are taken care of in the Garden of Eden. Don't need a house, you got perfect weather, so they can devote all their time to study or learning things. Plus, Adam came pre-programmed from the hand of God, probably had an incredibly high IQ, and he got to walk and talk with God for a while till he sinned, maybe 100 years, we don't know. But got to walk and talk with God. The other factor to consider is Adam lived long enough to know his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson. Noah's daddy could have known Adam for 56 years. So you get not only a much higher starting point, they already knew a lot because God pre-programmed it into Adam. Plus they lived a long time and could learn a lot more. Plus they lived long enough to pass this on to many generations. Today an awful lot of knowledge goes to the grave. About the time you know it all, you die. Or by the time you know a bunch of stuff, you die. Imagine if guys like Einstein could live, 800 or 900 years. How much knowledge could they accumulate in a brain like that?
The Antikythera mechanism, an extraordinary artifact, reveals a tantalizing glimpse into the advanced knowledge possessed by ancient civilizations. This remarkable device, discovered amidst the remains of a shipwreck near Antikythera in 1901, challenges our perception of their technological prowess. This ancient device is crafted in the 2nd century BCE. For years, its true function remained an enigma, shrouded in mystery. However, modern research efforts tirelessly sought to unravel its secrets. Eventually, the Antikythera mechanism's intricate mechanisms and gears were found to be instrumental in predicting celestial movements, a feat astonishingly precise for its time. The existence of such a sophisticated device prompts speculation about the source of this ancient knowledge. Could it be that these civilizations sought wisdom from a higher power? And we will be able to unravel the mysteries of these ancient civilizations? Only time will tell.
Hey, I do believe most of the technology we come up with is not new. Everything is a circle, and I don't think we give enough credit to previous civilizations.
So y'all remember that Netflix movie called Don't Look Up? We need to make a spin-off series called Don't Look Down. Yeah, look up. Yeah, don't look down. Look up. Look up. Look up in the sky. Rainbow coming. Who the fuck let Goku into this reality to let off Kamehameha Blast in the middle of the sky? I don't know, some of y'all gonna say, bro, you're doing too much. It's just lightning. Just lightning. So just lightning. Looks like we have a whole split in our reality, huh? Right. It's been so many strange phenomena that's been happening in our sky over these past couple days. You never know, you might go outside and see something like this, looking like a rainbow unicorn took a fart across the sky. And some people are gonna say CGI, AI generated. You 100% right. It definitely could be. And also, it could not be. This also could be 100% real. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom and states.
It's weird. What is that?
They're aliens from another planet.
Shut up, Arnold. What is it? For real, what is that thing?
Let's open up the window.
Maybe it's
Don't open the window with the...
Turn the TV off, please.
No.
they're coming towards us.
Why is it glowing at the bottom? What is that?
Please tell me it's
I hope they
a
take us away. Let's go check out
Be
some
quiet, Brendan. Don't be annoying. I swear you have to
I hope
always
it's
be annoying.
I hope it's a drone, bro.
They're gonna go.
What is this
They're
bra?
gonna
Wait,
come right
honey,
above our
we've
hotel.
talked about this. I don't want to hear that word come out of your
Cross my
mouth
fingers
again.
for
You're
it
too
to
young
be
for that, Eddie.
I don't want to hear that word come
I
out of your
hope
mouth
it's a
again.
drone. I think it's a drone. I hope it.
No. What?
That's way too big for a drone.
That's not a
That's
drone.
not a helicopter.
It's not?
There's two.
No, that's weird looking. It's circular.
It could be. Maybe we're getting spied on.
Why what?
Daddy.
Huh?
Why won't my thing zoom in like I needed to?
might
Usually
be-
it zooms in really good, but this isn't zooming very good.
Let me get my phone. Hold on.
It's like just
Coming
turning into
literally
a...
towards
Are you
us.
scared of me? You don't gotta be scared.
It's not coming towards us. I'm pretty sure it's coming towards us.
It looks like it's stopped, doesn't it?
I hope it stopped.
Okay, no, there's a third one.
Here is more proof that fallen angels are reptilian in nature.
And he said, last year we decided to go camping for a couple of weeks in Colorado. And he says, we were up in the mountains and we broke camp one morning. And we walked up to the top of this mountain. We were almost there anyway at camp. And then the next morning when we broke camp, we walked up to the top of the mountain to look over the lay of the land. And he says, out in the valley, we could see that there had been an area that had been cleared away. It was like a round area that had been cleared away. And there was a circle of people out there, and they were all wearing robes, and they were all holding hands and swaying back and forth, singing and chanting. You could barely hear them. But he said, but it was very quiet where we were. We could see that there was some kind of a ritual dancing or swaying back and forth in a circle. They were all holding hands. And there was obviously somebody in the middle, like a priest or something in the middle. And he said, this is out in the middle of nowhere. That these people are out here with this thing that they're doing. And he said, we're up here in the mountains looking down on them. And he said, while we were standing there looking at them, all of a sudden, a second figure popped up out of nowhere. But it was bigger than the man that was in the middle.
Fallen angels are interdimensional beings, so they can just pop up anywhere they want to.
It's in the middle too, but it's much bigger. And it pointed up at us. And he said, and all the singing stopped, everybody stopped and pointed. And he said, we knew we'd been hit. And he says, we didn't know what was going on, but whatever it was, it just popped in out of nowhere, pointed up at us, and everybody is now pointing at us. And he said, so we figured we better just get out of here. And he said, when we turned around, it was standing behind us. That thing which was down there was already behind us. That's how quick it moved. He said when we turned around to run, there was a reptile alien standing behind us. He said this thing was at least 7 to 7.5 foot, maybe 8 foot tall, had a reptile man's head, but it was a reptile head. It was very muscular. It looked like a human body on the ordinary of a human body, but a reptile body, extremely muscular. And he said, and it was looking at us, and he said, it cast some kind of a spell on us, so that the children and the women, no one could move. We were like frozen. And he said, and even nobody could say anything, nobody could cry, nobody could run, nobody could do anything. And he said, and this thing was gazing at all of us, looking at the children, looking at the women. He said, this reptile alien, and he says, we're just Christians in a church, but we saw a reptile alien. This thing was not of this world. And he said, this thing was looking at all of us, and then he said, it looked at the men, and the look he gave us, we understood. He didn't say anything, but we knew. He was saying, I'm going to leave you alone, but when I leave here, you better get out of here.
The fallen angel did not let them go to be nice to him. It let them go because it had to, because they were Christians, therefore untouchable.
And he said, the alien walked over it like he was leaving. It's gone.
Y'all can go on my page 1 year ago and see where God gave me an end time dream where New York was completely destroyed, and there were UFOs falling upon New York City, and they were reptile beings looking exactly like this. So that's just more evidence. That is literally what they are, which is exactly why the Egyptians worshipped reptile looking things. They're literally fallen angels. Need any more proof? See the pine cone right here? How they teach enlightenment? See the serpents right here? Do as thou wilt, you are gods? It's always the same trick.
So the reptilians out here sparing people? Couldn't have been me. I think they did too much time watching. Me, I would have peeked what was going on, and I would have hit it straight up out of there.
Sephora horror story. The makeup? So, yeah, there was a Sephora like lotion. This girl bought it. She put it on her face. Okay. And she woke up covered in wolf spiders. What? All over her face, all over her body where she put the lotion. They looked into it and they found out some ingredients that they put into the lotion, because they're put together, the combination creates the same chemical that's in spider pheromones. So she woke up covered in spiders, bro. And I think they did a test. They like took the lotion and put it somewhere and kept an eye on it over hours and throughout the day. Like more and more spiders would like be attracted to it, because I think it gives off the signal to male spiders of a female spider ready to mate. So they were just like effing her face? Yeah, they're just like ass spiders, bro.
See, there's 5 balls there. Now look at, if I drop one of these, 1 comes back. If I drop 2, 2 comes back. Let's suppose I drop 3. Will I just knock the 2? No. If I drop 3, I get 3 back. Now, if I drop 4, I get 4 back. See, that is a law. Energy out, energy back. And it's equal and opposite. You get the same back as you put out. If you're not happy with what you're getting, you better focus on what you're giving.
Speaking of things falling from the sky, this was videotape in North Charlotte, Carolina. Y'all check this out. What the hell is this? What is that? I mean, we can clearly see it, but we can't tell what it is, you guys. Can you guys see that? What is that?
Flying over downtown. Oh,
it's not a plane, because look, it curves out. Look at this. Looks like a plane that got shot down and is falling down, but I can't find anything about a plane in North Carolina falling down. Also, the way that it balances itself out shows me that it is not of it's not a plane. This is very intelligent. Just look at that. It's a very intelligent thing. Look at that. So far lately, so many things are taking place in the sky, and why not? Because that is the biggest screen that we have. That is the biggest projection screen that we have, the biggest television screen that we have. So we always got to be looking up. Hell, they even made a movie, Don't Look Up, and ever since they made that movie, everything has been happening up. So they made that movie with intention. You know what I'm saying? They're telling us to look up because that's where the show is at. So I don't know what that was in North Carolina. Did any of you guys have an idea what it was? Did anybody else see it in North Carolina? Please let us know down in the comments below. Like, share this video for more videos like this, y'all. This video is strictly for entertainment.
I can't even guess what that is. I see fire and smoke, but it still look like it's controlled. Let me know in the comments what y'all think.
Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea, yeah.
I'll tell you something. Do you know about it? Yeah, Jessica. So, do you know that the last night
Have you ever lost an item in a way that just shouldn't have been physically possible? So far, everybody I've ever asked has always got at least one example of where they lost an item, like maybe they were in an enclosed space, or in a car, or in a room where there was no place for it to go. It's like it just fell out of the universe. But they lost it, looked and looked and looked, and literally never found it again. Everybody I've asked has got at least one example of that. It's actually probably the most common example of a supernatural story that people have, even people who haven't seen ghosts or anything like that, usually have the item vanished from the universe thing. And I think people usually don't tell the story because it makes for a boring story. It's not like seeing the ghost of your dead grandmother or something in a hallway. It's just like a glitch. It's like a glitch in reality. And when you're telling it to a stranger, it's never interesting because the stranger will always say, well, you probably just forgot what room you had it in, or you probably thought you brought it into the room, or maybe a friend stole it. And no matter how much you insist, like, no, there was no one else there. I had it in my hand, and then I set it down, and when I came back in the room, it was gone. I was the only one who was home that day, and it's just too easy to dismiss. But everybody I've asked has got at least one example of that. And then I've got a couple of people who have the weird, rare example of the item turning up again in equally weird circumstances. Considering what I do for a living, people always ask me if I've ever seen a ghost or anything weird like that, and I haven't, but I have had this happen. So now I'm curious, if you have your own object disappeared from the universe story, feel free to reply or stitch to this, or however TikTok works. I don't know, I'm too old.
I can't tell you how many times I set something down, then came back and it wasn't there, then later on it showed up in the most ridiculous place. I know I ain't tripping. Let me know if y'all had any experiences with this.
Stop sleeping by your phone while it's charging. It's frying your brain.
When you're charging your phone, it is emitting electric fields. Laura's just holding up this part of the multimeter and the other part is grounded, so you can see actually her body voltage in relation to the earth. And if I put the phone very near to her, we have about 5 or 6 volts. If I put the charger out of the wall, it almost goes to 0.00. So you have two bad things. You have the charger that is emitting electric fields, and you have also radio frequencies. If I use this meter, and if I put the cell phone out of airplane mode, it has very high readings on the radio frequency. And if I put 4G on, it's even worse. So ideally, you should put and use your cell phone on airplane mode at night. Use an adapter connected to the Ethernet to your router, and you should charge your phone on.
So with that being shown, always put your phone on airplane mode before you go to sleep if you sleep near your phone. We are electrical beings and we emit an electrical magnetic frequency around our body. And when we sleep near our phone and near a lot of radiation, these things can cause our frequencies to be tampered. And even though we don't see it or feel it happening, it's still happening. So hopefully this video stops you from sleeping near your phone because it's literally messing with our brains. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people sleep near their phone. So yeah, just put it on airplane mode or turn your phone all the way off, or just put your phone far, far away from you before you go to bed. And you should sleep better and also remember your dreams.
I think these niggas is real. Let me explain. Y'all ever wonder why Avatar went #1 and top 3 movies of all time, reaching billions of dollars? I feel like they be really paying homage to these people, bro. The Na'vi or whatever, right? The so-called ancient people and shit, right? Now my theory is that these people from Wakanda Forever and the people from Avatar are the same beings. And it was telling us about the transformation from the lands to the ocean, man. You feel me? So the last Avatar movie was The Way of the Water, right? About how they can survive underwater, breathe and all that, adapt and everything, right? So look at this. Is it just a coincidence? Y'all tell me.
Take another step closer, and I'll kill you all. Kislet Melso, at the Team Top Black of Heli Loco. Hey, she blue?
Y'all don't find it weird that only 5% of the ocean is discovered? Y'all don't know what's down there, bro, and I think they be telling us, bro. They be paying homage, bro. Pete. Look, they was even telling us inside job. The Atlanteans and shit. Just tell me, yo. Just, bro. Even when it come down to the Smurfs, you feel me? Just the skin tone alone. And I bet y'all didn't even know it's a family called the Blue Fugates that was really blue and they was human, you feel me? So I know it's some spooky weird shit going on out there.
I would say mind reading out of the cliche powers. Let me explain how this might work. The brain is an electromechanical organ, meaning that it generates electricity. When neurons, the cells that make up your brain, fire together in synchronized patterns to send a command to move your arm or have sick thoughts. It creates a signal we call brainwaves. Now, the signals are weak and very difficult to detect. Nothing like a radio wave or a microwave, but we have developed technology to try and detect those waves. It comes down to two pieces of technology: fMRIs, which measure the blood flow in certain areas of your brain, and AI models, kind of like ChatGPT. But instead of the AI scanning and translating the internet, it scans you. For example, it would watch you listen to 20 hours of television and use that to try and learn how your brain reacts when you think of an apple. The science isn't exact. Instead of an apple, it could say that you were thinking of food in general, or maybe just something red. Machines reading minds is right around the corner. With that being said, our ears evolved to detect sound waves, which are how particles move through the air. That is translated by our ears into music and words. We didn't evolve an organ sensitive enough to hear brainwaves, but if a species did evolve to detect it, I would imagine it worked something like this. So I don't see this happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if like an alien species could do it.
I think if our brain can think it, we can definitely achieve it. But I do feel like it's something with everybody thinking the same thing at once and believing the same thing, which creates it.
Mysterious marine kingdom, possible Nephilim survivors, the oldest written word even predating the Sumerians, Noah's Ark landing site possibly, evidence coming up, as well as the mysterious seat of the gods in the sea. And what exactly did it mean when God said he won't strive with man forever? Let's check it out. According to the book of Jasher, there was 2 floods, one that killed 1/3 of the world, and then the flood. Lots of other cultures have flood accounts, very similar to the Bible, from Sumerian, Greek, Hindus, Egyptian, etc. An entire worldwide wipeout flood. We know the reason for the flood was the Nephilim incursion. The idea is God was actually saving the world, not destroying it. This worldwide flood appears to be documented in one of the oldest megalithic sites known as Göbekli Tepe, which to me seems like Noah's Ark landing site. The oldest writing that predates the Sumerians, the first word is actually God, and it's aligned towards the Aquarius constellation, which we'll come back to later. These 10-tone stone pillars document a worldwide flood and a new civilization given a second chance, and another warning for an end. It also documents lots of animals from all over the world that would never be in one place, except for supernatural reasons like the gathering for the flood. Quick side note about data, I don't dismiss it, but can it be trusted? Because it can be manipulated. Also, I hate the idea that the first is right. Just look at the news today. It's really only first discovered. Who's to say what's not been discovered, or what's been discovered and suppressed? You really have to use your spiritual senses, the ones that they try to not let you have. So yeah, you can always trust the people with the most money and power to always just tell you the most truth, for sure. with that chase the always changing fact faith carrot on a stick tactic. Anyway, all these animal monuments and things I mentioned are located right near Ararat, the mountain in Turkey where it said that Noah's Ark landed. It seems like from the Ark landing in Mount Ararat, they simply came down the mountain and started civilization there and made all these monuments to document everything. And civilization spread out from there, which is what the evidence seems to indicate. Quick notes on the pillars. Pillar 43 talks about waves and a flood. Pillar 56 talks about waves and crashing and animals and fleeing. Pillar 18 is the only word in the whole site, and it's God. And it's aligned towards Aquarius, which is really interesting because in the Gospels, Jesus talks about the constellation Aquarius. And the disciples ask him, "Where must we go to follow you?" When he said, "Follow the man with the pitcher into the house." Esoteric meaning of the house as in the constellation Aquarius, the man with the pitcher. Cultural context note, in those times a man would never be carrying a pitcher. It appears to be a cryptic statement that in order to follow him, you have to actually follow him into the next age, where you will rule and reign with him. Also, aside from the word God being aligned to Aquarius, most of the monuments talking about the flood are aligned to Cygnus, the swan. Or is the true identity of Cygnus actually the white dove? The one that the Bible tells you about that was sent out from the ark. Cygnus is actually the white dove in the Mazzaroth, also representing the Holy Spirit. Anyway, when you follow things like big archaeology, you may think things like pyramids or tombs, even though no mummies have ever been found in them, ever. Or that Romans built the first roads, when actually the Mayans have advanced networks of highways, and that's only been what's been discovered so far, or admitted. And again, it's always going to change. Anyway, wrapping up before we move into the Marine Kingdom fascinating things, it also shows fire from the sky, just like the pattern from Sodom and Gomorrah, which is raining sulfur down, and if you really pay attention, you'll see that that reset devastation pattern results in instant petrification. Just look what happened to Lot's wife. Now think about all the giants and the whole petrified giants are mountains and all those other theories. Lots of giants, titans, and other things instantly turning into land masses. By the way, what do you think Himalayan pink salt, possibly Shilajit are? Maybe even some gemstones. Last quick note on fossils, that's not exactly how it happens the way you've been told, because pickles have been found fossilized in a jar from not that long ago. Plus, it seems like there was an instant of flash frozen fossilization because things like fish have been fossilized eating another fish. Plus, fossils have been found in the act of eating and other things that indicate an instant fossilization type of event. And also explains weird dating. Any kind of atmospheric differences or devastation or cataclysmic event would result in weird dating. Also, it appears a lot of the site has been intentionally buried. Why? We're going along. In part 2, we're going to explore is Tartarus in the ocean, the seat of the gods in the sea, things like Atlantis, Nephilim creature flood survivors, the Marine Kingdom, and more. See you soon.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you sub up, like. Until next time.
Come on, spill the tea.